If 42% of grade 3s are struggling with understanding at the paragraph level, and if 74%, no, sorry, I'm doing it the reverse. If 60% of grade 3s are struggling with the paragraph level, and a quarter of our grade 5s are struggling with the main idea in the paragraph, does that concern you? Yeah. And I'm going to, let's just put ourselves on the spot. What are the implications then for us as teachers? Would you mind getting the microphone, Lena? Let's think about, say we are a school. What should we do? What are the implications for us if we're just honest and put it out there? What might we do to redress that situation? We're assuming, of course, that we have not just one answer on one assessment. We're assuming that we have the range of assessment and the full information that we need about that student or that cohort. Yes?
I suppose we need to teach students to not just read headings or subheadings, but to read the whole of the text that's presented to us.
Yes.
And also how to...
Sorry. It's awful, isn't it?
Also how to look for the information contained within the different paragraphs and let them know that that particular paragraph, well, what is it talking about? Okay, what are the key aspects that are mentioned there? And summarise a lot.
That's right.
And then do that for the next paragraph. And so on and so forth. And also engage students in writing.
Yes.
Where they then use that knowledge, if they're writing a procedural text or whatever,
excellent.
You then have to break it down and then teach them how to then write using that genre so they can then develop a better understanding.
Yes, several perfect points about the way in which we might go about that. Because the truth of it is, remember at the start of today I said, here's the challenge, one of the challenges in AIZ. What the data is showing us, and students are at the middle of the decision making, has implications for us as teachers and for our instructional practice, and that is a challenge. And we need to, within the program, look at that challenge and rise to it. It's not about, oh, we're naughty teachers or naughty schools, but it's about, if that's where our understanding is, or our team's understanding, or a group within my school, what do we need to do to get a deeper understanding? And if I can be the devil's advocate, we do assess. We assess uphill and down dale, but some of us can look at our school and say, well, but the data is not shifting. What is going to make the difference? And that's the real challenge. And it is true, more assessment won't make the data shift. Really analysing the data, really knowing what we need to do to move this student on, or this cohort on, is what's going to make the difference. And I'm hoping that makes sense to you. There's no sense of blame or shame. It's about continuous improvement for all of us. And you will get support within the program for that. The structure of the PLTs, as we heard the 3 leaders share back with us. The ongoing professional learning as you come. I'm not sure if it'll be week by week or fortnight by fortnight or month by month, but you'll get that support as well. Plus there are people at Region that you can contact and say, this is what we're proposing, or can we just run this by you, or have you got any ideas to support? So you're not thrown out there and expected to do it in an immediate way. Sorry, you wanted to say something.
Because we're analysing text, we really need to go back and teach children how to analyse questions and ask, what is the question really asking me?
Yes.
Otherwise, they'll have quite a bit of difficulty finding the answer and making all those connections that we want them to make and using context, etc. So we've got to start there, and we've got to make sure that we don't forget about the questions.
We have to know that depth. We have to know that depth of what is happening and not happening with this student. I think it's important, just as we finish, I don't want to give you the impression that reading comprehension is a series of isolated skills. We've looked at vocab, the main idea, and inference today. But we as teachers need an in-depth knowledge about each of the elements to help analyse what is the thing that's going to make a difference for this student. What's the next point of learning for them? But we do understand, and I don't want to give you the impression that it's an isolated thing. What good comprehenders do, or effective comprehenders do, is orchestrate and apply a range of strategies at in the reading process, just like you do, and that's our ultimate goal. Just to finish off, some points to bring the morning together. What teachers do does make a difference. Within ARZ, it does build a process for working together systematically at the team level and at the school level. And as we've said today, you might start with one team and build from there. It gives you the structure. It clarifies the work for you. It creates opportunity and expectation about the dialogue and about the classroom practice. What do we need to teach, why and how? And some schools and some literacy leaders and numeracy leaders have said, oh, thank you, because I've been battling trying to get this, but it's hard to get all staff on board. It gives you the structure for all staff to be on board, and it gives you the accountability around that. Plus it gives you the what to do with the ongoing sessions that we have. And AIZ, as you know, is a strategy across Northern Region. It's about school improvement across the region. And as we started off this morning saying, we have to narrow that link between the data and the practice. That data really does inform our practice, and there's that close relationship. High quality teaching for all students, our at-risk students, the ones in the middle and the ones who need extension and who are travelling well. And you do have support within the program with your professional learning, people you can contact at Region. Your PRIN and your RNL will work closely together. The PLT is a support in itself. I hope we've clarified things a little for you today, and I hope we have challenged you with the looking a little deeper at data and perhaps looking at it a little bit differently. And as we said, there's not an expectation to go back and suddenly change the world in your school, but it is time now, when in this term, as you are planning for next year, being informed about what the role is going to be so you can incorporate those demands into your planning for next year. So thank you everybody, and thank you Lena.